In general, single Libra risings could meet the one or get serious with the one around April or May of 2026 because Mars and Saturn will both be in your 7th house. A lot of Libra risings have been asking me when the astrology, oh, look at that, is gonna be better for dating or like entering into a long-term relationship. And as a Libra rising, I have a lot to say about this because personally, I know we have been going through it the last like 3 years. And I thought the North Node being in our 7th house meant like something was going to come about then. But for a lot of us, it seemed to be kind of more so karmic connections and more lessons to learn around standards and not settling, especially in relationship with the people we have around us. And so I feel like Saturn in the 7th house is going to be good for Libra rising in that regard of actually entering into a long-term relationship. Now, this obviously depends on, I have to disclaim this in every single video because this is always going to depend on your unique chart, what is going on in your chart with your Venus, with your own natal Saturn, with your zodiacal releasing, with your solar return chart, right? There's so much more to look at in terms of when the timing of meeting a life partner or getting married is actually going to come about for you based on these other things and not just general horoscope transits. And I teach you how to read your chart for that and to understand how to look at all of these things so you can really unlock these secrets and the timing of your own personal chart and journey in my Become an Astrologer course. But the reason I think that Saturn in 7th house is going to be good for Libra risings, especially after it leaves Neptune, which will be in the spring of next year. So the spring of 2026 is looking pretty good for Libras to either get married, enter a long-term relationship, meet the person, etc. Because then once Saturn is done in our 7th house, it will move into our 8th house of vulnerability and intimacy and shared resources, which is really where we get into the nitty-gritty of like what happens once you get married, right? You merge assets or you decide how you're going to split up assets or whatever it is. That's 8th house terrain. And Saturn in the 8th house is a once in a 30-year transit that will prompt you to get really serious about your shared resources, especially with a partner that you are intimate with. So that's why I think like these next 2 years are going to be crucial for Libra risings to actually meet somebody that they could end up with long term if that's your goal with dating. Because like I said, this is a once in a 30-year transit. But this also comes down to your personal journey of these transits and learning not to settle for anything less than what you're looking for in your partner. Especially if you want to have kids, like what do you want in the father of your children? If the man doesn't meet it, you need to let him go and stop seeing it from a scarcity standpoint of like, well, this one's good enough and it's just this one little thing. Like, no, that's really the lesson with all of this too, is like stop settling. Don't write off red flag. Really, really be disciplined with this in yourself and your own dating journey. I mean, that's what Saturn teaches. And you could very well meet the one in the next 2 years.